the scene, it's your host TTP. We're flying high in the crypto sky, just you and me. From Bitcoin rush to Ethereum, we traded all the coins. Hit the trading parody, making that joyful noise. We got bots, we got plots, charts on the big screen. 3 comments to Wick, Hunter with a trading machine. Laughing all the way to the bank, it's a fun parade. With every trade we made, watch how we get paid. TTP's got the formula, flipping coins like a spatula. In the crypto game with the vernacular, spectacular. From the morning to the night, we're streaming with the light, join the trading parallel. We'll teach you how to fight. Dive into the charts, the RSI, liquidity at a glance, trends on the rise. We never leave it up to chance. All trading Ganium, tools of the champion breed. With AI and math, we're planting the money seed. Laugh with us, trade with us, ain't no looking back. You're with the parrot now, leading the pack. Alpha profits, snap plots with the crypto law. TTP's on the mic and he's ready to soar. TTP's on the mic and he's ready to soar. TTP's got the formula, flipping coins like a spatula. In the crypto game with the vernacular, spectacular. From the morning to the night, we're streaming with the light. Join the trading parallel. We'll teach you how to fight. Dive into the charts.
Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. Here I am reviewing the FOMC meeting in live. It's going to happen in half an hour. And as you guys requested in the video in the morning, we're going to cover it live. We're going to look not just at the decision, but actually from the point of view of technicals. I'm very interested to see how the price reacts prior to the meeting, after the meeting, and actually with the Fed press conference. That's typically the last name in the coffin for the direction of the price. We usually see some movements prior to the meeting, during the meeting, and then with the conference, everything can change dramatically. So I'll try to cover up until the end of this. That is 1 hour ahead from now. And we are going to do some technical analysis, looking at how the charts are looking before the meeting. If you have any questions, of course, the title, the thumbnail says QA. So make sure that any questions goes there. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to look at TA of altcoins. We can reserve that for later. If we get bored, maybe we can do some TA of some altcoins. But in the meantime, we're going to look at the charts. We're going to look at the 4 hour, how is everything looking, how is looking the order block, the bid, ask, all that stuff. We need to go step by step and see if there's anything that stands out that it's worth mentioning. And all of that, I just gave 2 minutes look at the charts before feeding my daughter, so I don't have necessarily prepared, oh, I found this pattern, it's going to break out. Apart from the 1 hour that I saw something interesting, before I say what I found in the 1 hour, since this crypto channel has become a lot of educational, I would like you to look at the chart on Bitcoin on the 1 hour and tell me in the comments, what do you see? And then if you are right, good for you. We don't have anything to give for free today, but it's good to practice. You know, practice makes the master. On the 4 hour, in the meantime, I'm going to fill the vacuum looking at the 4 hour. You can see that we are building some sort of head and shoulders here. So that has a target towards below 100K. So I'm hoping that we're going to hold right there. And by the way, guys, be as loud as you can, okay? Hit the like, subscribe, comment in the live stream, comment from Twitter, share everywhere. All of that, of course, it helps the channel and is motivation to continue doing this crazy traveling that I'm doing with this channel, which is just crazy. Sometimes I think about it. In the 4 hour, that pattern is standing out. We have the breakdown already. And what this 4 hour pattern is saying is that there is a chance that we make it to the bottom of the range at 38. And that is 101.5, but the actual target of the head and shoulder, if we consider the top of the week at 108.4 is pointing at 99K. Okay, so that is not necessarily saying it must go down. Okay, we haven't broken support, so there's no decision yet. And I guess traders at the moment are on the lookout for what could come next. And any questions, technicals about Bitcoin? I'm not seeing anything apart from everybody being there speculating on what you see on the 1 hour. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys think about it a little bit more, and then we're gonna cover the 1 hour. And of course, we are gonna have fun before we see the results of the FOMC. And actually, I forgot to have a tab with the FOMC, and I'm gonna need to see what is the outcome because the video is called FOMC, and then I'm not gonna tell you the results. That's gonna be a little bit awkward. But I can see that the probability of ease increased to 98.6. It was 95.5, I think, in the morning. It went down from 97. So it seems that it's settling at a very high probability. So most likely we're going to get that 25 basis points reduction. And at the moment, on the daily, we can see that the price is wanting to hit that fair value gap at 103. It has done that partially. Maybe half of it is gone, I think. And the past week high was at this price of 101.8. And the exit from the range that we had with the breakout was from 101.8. So what we cannot afford today to do, of course, is to re-enter the range, break this trend, like anything like that, is a little bit disaster, right? If we come and retest 101.8, that is fine. If we take out that 99 thanks to the 4 hour, and in the same 4 hour we come back up, perfect. Let's liquidate as many longs as quickly as possible. That is fine. Let's take them out of the way. We can afford to do that. But on a daily candle basis, re-entering the range is just, panic on the streets for many people because it's daily time frame, and it will mean that this breakout was just bullshit. Okay, that's pretty much in plain English, which people continuously tell me that I struggle with English. That's fine. That's fine. um, in the morning, reminder, we lost this support, local support, which is not a big deal. I say not that big deal because we put a higher high and we are in the process of putting a higher low relative to this range. So all decently looking good, not a bullish day at all. I'm not trying to say that, but I'm saying that we are holding here pretty decently. It's typical from a prior to FOMC meeting price action where it tries to make people doubt where we are really going. Interestingly, on the CME gap, we haven't filled it. This is like the third time we just go to there and we don't even touch it. It's almost like the price is scared of filling the gap. Why? Usually that takes 1 day, but you can see that sometimes it takes a bit longer. And I'm hoping that we don't close the weekly like this. This is not a big week, right? It's smaller than the ones we have 3 weeks in a row, okay? But it's still the top of that thing there could produce some bull flag there potentially if we close the weekly like this. Of course, we are far from Sunday. No news on the big well, no distribution. That's great. Of course, we are not going to have moves on the ETF. It has been positive every single day. Let's go quickly. What matters for today meeting? That's what I want to see. I want to see as well who was the last one that got liquidated with 1 million. I usually care about that. Seeing tons of longs is good, it's positive, it's bullish. Seeing lots of shorts liquidated, it indicates that that job has been completed. So it tends to signal reversals. And we've seen mostly green in here. So it's kind of an alpha that I overlap with other things. Of course, I don't use it by itself. And in terms of short-term liquidity, it's heavier in here up until 102. So I remember at 103, there were some things that were pretty relevant, but now I forgot what it is. I guess I'm going to see it in the next charts. But I remember at 103, there's an overlap with something. Maybe it was a fair value gap, or maybe it was a liquidation level coming from CoinGlass. We'll see in just a second. On the top end, there is more now, is equivalent. So this liquidity in here is maybe as big as this. There's a small difference, but this one is very close to the price, right? So you never underestimate the effort of moving the price a lot. Here, we can start consuming it in 4K. In here, we need to go 15K down to hit yellow. That is at 89. So that's a long trip for the price. And of course, that invalidates more than just one thing. Probably on the weekly, it will invalidate other things too. We're out of the red in terms of global longs and shorts. So that is not necessarily bullish, but it's no longer bearish, I will say. And there seems to be, at the moment in the order book, interest on buying. So that is good. Okay. Is this a buying that definitely marks down bottom? No, we need a little bit more to be more confident, but at least we don't have this amount of selling pressure that we have at this top. It could come back. Okay. So this changes by the hour. So if price, let's say, goes here, and then we get that red again, we end up forming, that head and shoulder on the 4 hour, even larger, and then it becomes even more bearish. We need to take the high of 108, not necessarily today, but it will be nice that there is not a rejection at 106 to 105, I will say. And let's go to the 1 hour to answer the question. I'm sure that you want to know what I think, or want to know if I agree. And what I'm seeing in here is on the 1 hour, and let's remove the right shoulder that is disturbing there, is a double bottom formation. So it's doing this and it's reaching there. So it's not completed. It needs to go to 105 to produce this neck, and then we can go with a target of 107. And well, 107 is slightly higher than the left shoulder. So that will be positive if we can get there. And hopefully we go beyond that. Hopefully we take the 182, but this 1 hour thing only reaches that target. So let's see if you guys were thinking the same. Welcome, Patrick, a new member. That's great. Thanks for going live. Double bounce on the 1 hour, 103K resistance. Is it possible that Feds don't cut rate and price goes up? I mean, in my opinion, the rates are a little bit of a placebo. I know that many people are expecting next year to get rate cuts and they're speculating not just on crypto, but on stocks and indexes. But in my opinion, what matters is liquidity in the system. So whatever they want to do with the rates is just not really relevant for where the market goes, but more for short-term speculation. Like people are trading what are the rates going to be today. If there's going to be a disappointment, they're going to trade a short and stuff like that, short-term for a swing. But if there is liquidity and they are printing money, even if there is a rate cut, what really matters is the liquidity. The rate cut or no rate cut with a lot of liquidity, nothing beats really for bullish sentiment, lots of liquidity, because then people don't know what to do with the liquidity and they start buying assets, and that takes the price up. Okay, so that's why I focus more on the balance sheet and on the liquidity indexes, on the dollar, and on gold as well. Injections in China, there's many sources of things that matter in the previous cycle. This cycle, we have a new kid in town in that group, which is the ETF. Of course, institutions. They were not there before. We didn't care about them. They were too small to pay attention. But now we have that ETF as well, and there are inflows all the time from institutions. So if they print more money, then further retail can come in and push that, and then rates wouldn't match that much. Tu inglés es cojonudo. I think cojonudo is from Mexico. That word maybe is from, no, from Spain. It's not. I think it's from Mexico. Anyways, that sounds French to me. I think you're very well spoken. I think I have a very good lexicon. Is that the word? Correct me if I'm wrong. So I know a lot of words because I read a lot, and I study a lot. But I speak multiple languages, and I don't speak any single language properly. Not a single language. I grew up with people complaining about my Spanish. So this is not new to me. When I grew up in Chile, people were telling me, hey, you don't speak proper Chilean. Come on, change your Chilean. That is horrible Spanish. You need to speak Chilean. And I was speaking Argentinian, and they happened to be in a war. So imagine that. I came from the opposite side with that accent. So now people telling me about my English, I don't care. I aged 5 years in this bull run. That's funny. I think he's from Spain, same accent as me. Not from Spain, Argentina born, but my accent is from Chile now because after so many years I changed from Argentinian to Chilean, but not even in Chile they accept that. They say you have a weird accent. People are so mean sometimes, but it's funny. It's funny. Let's see. Let's see what we're missing. Okay, so I left it in the liquidity, and I missed going into the delta. The delta is pretty flat, so it's not going to say anything relevant. That means just that, oh, wow. That means that there's an equivalent amount of shorts and long liquidations from top and bottom, but this delta that comes from high block capital in this particular chart takes in consideration a very short span of time. So nothing compared to the trading different one, where you can put it in the 4 hour and it's going to span for tons of ages back in time, and you can normalize it as well, which is super cool. Let's look at the order book because there's some interest here in shorting 110. And if we learned something in the past year, really, by looking fire charts, is pretty much that 100% of the time that there are selling walls very significant, they pull them out before they get hit. And there are plenty of times, I wouldn't say every time, that they are there just for psychological reasons to create that perception that the price is not going to cross that, and then it does. Okay, examples of that, you get the best example here, but there are plenty of them. If we reduce the percentile, we get this, that one, all of them broken, until there will be one that is not broken. I'm not saying that this plays out 100% of the time, but it's very repetitive all over the bull market. And it's 10 minutes to go, and the delta produced a rejection on our trend line and nothing new from there. Let's look at the orders on Binance. We can look at them on Bybit. Some people were saying you focus too much on Binance, and Bybit has pretty good volume too. That's true, but it's impossible to check everything. People already complain that I check too many things. So orders at 105 is very thin, the book. There's not much going on really. At 110, now we can find that one there. Let's see if we can go to another exchange. Maybe let's go to OKX. OKX is very funky. There's usually nothing. I'm not even sure if this is correctly calculated. Let's go back to Binance. All right, liquidations of the past 30 days. What do we have today? Potential move to 104.9. That is very close to the price, and below there's 101.8. and the fair value gap of 103, that's the overlap I was talking about. This is here up until 102.6. After that, just a single line at 101.5, and then we have to go below 100 to continue down. So that is pretty much what I have. I'm going to go into questions now, but before that, let's see what the dollar is doing. It's at 107. Second time that we are now going into the same level. And remember, on the weekly, the dollar had this breakout that I was really, really annoyed to see, because I was expecting to get a rejection at 57, and then more confidence on the bull market. But now with the dollar retesting and putting a pivot there on the retest, it's looking strong. Okay, if this was a coin, I will be thinking, yeah, okay, it's going to continue. But Bitcoin finds very difficult historically to rally against the dollar, so I'm not liking that, and I'm hoping that there is a rejection and it turns into a fake out. But it's been holding pretty decently. What is really good is gold. It's coming back down in the trajectory of our forecast. Sometimes it goes this high and it scares me, disappoints me, but then at the end of the week it's back down. So that is going in the right direction. Nasdaq put a high and it left a gap in here. Interesting. And the S&P has had 2 weeks coming down, and is seeing resistance at 70. It doesn't want to re-enter 70, but is rallying one level after having broken down. So it broke down in July, and it's been just going sideways after the breakdown on the weekly. Of course, it can do that, but in where it is most likely in a channel down, but we will have to see. Okay, cover general markets. Let me know if there's anything that I'm missing apart from talking about my accent and other things. Guys, you're so immature. From a fellow engineer, love the analysis. Saludos desde Uruguay. I was thinking to go to Uruguay because Uruguay is amazing. It's quite middle class, so people enjoy life there. I've been watching documentaries, and it seems pretty cool to go there and live. Also, you can smoke some nice stuff there. I heard, someone told me, and it's legal. 4 hours head and shoulder. Yeah. Is the Bitcoin ETF affection the Bitcoin dominance, affecting the Bitcoin dominance? Do you take into consideration? I think it is. The Bitcoin dominance is how much of the cash is into Bitcoin, and it just takes in consideration the whole network. So whether that belongs to the ETF or not, they don't distinguish that. Can check Solana liquidation heat map on Glass. Oh, by the way, trading different. I never go to other assets. Do we have Solana? Yes, we have Solana, and on the swing trade chart. Oh, that's too bright. Please dark theme. Okay, and let's see at the liquidations. And Solana has a pending liquidation very close to the price in here. Interestingly, that ends at 189. So, Solana has been bleeding against Ethereum, against other assets. And so if it's doing that and it takes this level, that will be cool if there's nothing below it. So from here, the next yellow is at 120, which I think that is pretty difficult to do at this time, maybe in summer. But that liquidation there is worth considering for a long. Of course, overlap with other sources of information. Don't trade just liquidation levels, because that is not great idea. But cool to see that liquidation there. Hopefully today it doesn't go away, because I need time to to prepare for the trade. Next question. Can check Solana. In general, we had altcoin season during January to May. It might tend to repeat. Yeah, I agree. And also, Ethereum needs to put a high and start the season. Okay, we have a little bit of a taster on the altcoin season, going for 3 days above 75 in the index, and then we came back down. I think today we are at 61. Yeah, 61. Um, that means, this looks like a bull flag, right? So it could mean that in short time, we push back about 75. We maybe make it to 90 or even higher, because that's where the altcoin season flag appears. That's not the beginning. The beginning is before, and the best trades are taken from before that. But at this point is where it's absolutely confirmed. Uh, just got the Ninja Turtle advert. Hope I didn't miss anything. Argentina and Chile have a very long border. Yes, they do. Want to put a timer up with the time left only 9 minutes? Yes. Where can I see the FOMC? If someone can ping me on Telegram a link to see live the results. Otherwise, I'm gonna go to Telegram. In my last post, the one talking about the others on Telegram, if someone can post there a link to see the FOMC. In the meantime, oh, look at the market. BGB, Virtual Move, Hex, and Penny. Okay. And of course, this is 94. Wow. It spiked to 5% just 5 minutes before. I always wonder why that happens. And if anyone pinged a link, no, there's still no link. Guys, one of you put the link to the FOMC if you find one that is good to check. FOMC meeting live. Can I trust this? Is it going to be porn or something? My channel ban. And this is December 18. Yeah, is the right date? Well, let's see. We can also see it in YouTube. 4K people watching, 352K subscribers. There's so many automated channels showing these events, and they're all fake. Like this year, we have so many live streams with millions of subscribers showing Elon Musk saying nonsense, and it was obvious AI generated. And all those attacks are always happening during FOMC meetings, and people saying things, and they're just scamming people. It's just these degenerates. Anyways, it hasn't started, and market is all in the red. All the altcoins are ready to take the next move. Let's hope that this altcoin season is gonna come next. Um, and let's go and see the lower time frame. What are we seeing here in the price action with the candles? Let's go closer. This is on the 15-minute. It's going to be a bit crazy to just look at this. So yeah, this is just 15 minutes, but it's kind of breaking out in here. We still don't form fully the W formation. We need to get to the neck, but we just did, or we are in the process of producing a potential green engulfing candle, uh, and probably getting into 105. Hopefully, we need to get to 105.3 to complete the W pattern. But yeah, there's volatility incoming, and people are already trading, even though there's still not news on this. Is it loading? Okay. If you hear a baby crying, that's that's because my daughter is getting her bath. Very professional. It's almost like crypto banter, this channel. Oh, there you go. This is starting FOMC press conference, but this is still advertising, so we don't know anything. Let's go to the latest comments. Confirm 25 basis point rate cut. Hell yeah, cut of 25. They held. Let's go hold as expected, as expected. Okay, we can also check on Twitter. Let's see what people are saying. Reserve, Bitcoin, Sailor. Oh, no news about that. What the hell? No one is talking about. Yeah, but Benjamin Cowen is a trusted source of Fed cuts, 25 basis points to 4.5. And how is the market reacting? Nothing. We are still here. This is the 4 hour, but this is Solana. What am I looking? That's why I was like, I never seen this. Bitcoin. Okay. Bitcoin is just holding there that support we talked about this morning. That there, the head and shoulder. We need to break that. That is very important. Right? 105.3. Let's go beyond that. Order book live. Anything substantial coming in? Market first reaction is usually wrong. No worries. We will rally tonight. Priced in, I guess. The conference is in 30 minutes. Okay. And this says 41 days ahead. That's the next one. When is the next one? I wanted to see the date. I think it's 29th of January, end of January. Okay, interesting. I'm thinking about the next Fed meeting because remember the timing of RSI monthly being above 70 was pointing to, if I remember right, 15th of January and 29th of January, the FOMC, and then 19th of March. That's a little bit too far ahead. Um, so it could have an impact as well on that forecast that I mentioned in that video. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. It's very important. The analysis on the RSI monthly, actually. Did I say weekly? Monthly. So there's a battle in here. Nothing is really changing. It's just going up and down. And eventually, let's go to see the bid and ask to see if it has actually changed. Gonna refresh just in case. Wow, we have 800 people watching at the moment. Guys, this is crazy. So here's my number. No, I'm not gonna sing that. Um, oh wow, okay. So we are reverting that 104, but we still have more bid than ask. Interesting. So those orders must be somewhere in here. I'm just guessing because there's a reason this is dumping, but there's a lot of bidding. And that can happen, right? So, for example, in here, there's a lot of bidding, and the price went with all the bidding down 13%. So, it's not a lifesaver. Remember, the alpha is we need to be in an extreme amount of bidding to consider reversals. If it's just in a mild location, it doesn't really say much. It can discard other things. Like we know that there is not a lot of selling. That's it. But we cannot just use that by itself. And DXY, press the like button, everybody. Precisely what I was gonna say. Cover the DXY. I covered the DXY, Leo. What are you saying? You missed that part, maybe. And this is SMPX. What is the DXY doing? Oh, hell. Ah, dollar pumping. Yeah, I guess the perception is that this is making the dollar stronger and is hitting 107.5, my resistance for the second time, and confirming that the dollar is looking strong, as I was saying before. Pretty annoying. That doesn't help. That I'm not sure if it's gonna necessarily cause Bitcoin to crash. Okay, that is not always the case, because in this area in here, dollar was rallying and Bitcoin was rallying as well. Okay, so but in the longer term, a rally of DXY eventually is going to put too much pressure on Bitcoin and cause it to take a pullback. And what is dollar doing? Dollar is doing the opposite. It's going down. Let's see the daily charts. Yeah, for the day is going down. For the day, the dollar is pushing higher. Pretty annoying. Thank you for great help. Don't forget to like, double top DXY. Well, that will be fantastic. I wish I could enjoy that hopium, but uh, it could be. Okay. So if, for example, it closes right where we are, then you get a double top on the price and a lower high on the RSI. You know, that is something. It's a divergence. Uh, but we have the breakout and we have a successful retest on the weekly. So it's a matter of now waiting in the two arguments, the bearish and the bullish, and thinking, well, which one is more important after all this time from 2022 having the breakout and the retest on the weekly, or just a divergence? Which one are you gonna buy? And BYX, okay, the volatility is also doing something significant in here. The last time we did something like this from support, we push all the way to 23, and volatility is testing resistance on the RSI weekly. You can see in here, right? And what does it do when it pushes up? It causes some trouble to Bitcoin. Not always. It's just volatility. So it causes additional volatility to markets. For example, this spike there, that was historical. It was crazy. Just caused a little bit more drama to Bitcoin going down. And that one there actually happened during the pump. So it brought volatility, but in a positive way. So let's see if this one is also going to repeat that thing. And NDX on the daily, it kind of stopped. It hasn't put a new high on the daily. S&P is coming down, and yes, the DXY is putting pressure on these assets, both on NDX and S&P. Sorry, the DXY, yeah, and even in the gold. So the gold continues down, but I guess the star of the show today is the DXY. Very interesting. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is testing the support of the head and shoulder on this time frame. That's the 4 hour. Let's go to lower time frame, and wow, okay, so you see trading the 15 minutes breakouts are not the best thing to do, and it's coming down to 103.4, getting very close to the 103, getting very close to the fair value gap as well. That's located in here. So if we go to that fair value gap, we need to hold that support. So I guess this support is somewhere in this area, because we have two touches there, we have two closes, and then we have that. So I'm going to ignore this one. I rather touching multiple points in repeatedly, but it's kind of a block of support and resistance, because we also have those levels there. And now the price is coming potentially for that. Remember, it's a 4 hour candle, so it might close different from what we are currently seeing. Hope the price goes to 117 or above. Thank you for supporting us, Mariano. Powell expects 2 rate cuts in 2025 of 50%. Yeah, but still quite elevated interest rate, to be honest, even comparing it with 2020. And also very low the injections of liquidity at the moment. So all of that is kind of against allowing Bitcoin to go up. And I think Bitcoin is rallying very nicely because of the ETFs and the institutions at the moment. Yes, there is a spike in retail, but it's not yet enough. I mean, being below what we did in 2021 tells you that, well, we should be a lot higher here. There is a return of retail, but it's very small, I will say. Coming back below the 104, that is the doji candle as well from the 5th of December. And I'm hoping that today we revert this. Okay, so if we want to be mimicking 2020, we need to revert this, and we also need to not close with a bearish cross on the MACD, right? Because that's not what we did at this point on 16th of December 2020. We had a bull cross, and we continue going up in the MACD. You can see it there. That's what we did. And today we are doing the opposite if we close like that. Yeah, and I also mentioned that we are doing it from higher, from 7,000. We're coming down to 3.5, and in here from 1K, we're going down to 600. So we had a lot of headroom to go into the thousands for the bull market. But now we are already at a level of 7, which we never managed to get the previous market. So repeating the patterns, but from already a bit later in the cycle, not in timing, but in price. We have already achieved a lot, I will say, in the momentum department. And there you go. This is, putting a new low on the 4-hour. That candle closes in 46 minutes. So if this settles like this, then, it's kind of pointing to go to that level. And that level is 101.6. Okay. Bear in mind that if you take a trade here and things reverse, I'm not going to accept anybody putting a comment saying, you say we were breaking down and suddenly it's starting to go up, because you know that there is volatility today and it's a difficult day to trade. It's not easy to trade these events, and they tend to do the opposite at some point. They just overhear something and everybody reacts in the opposite direction. So, be aware of what you're doing today. Someone is asking to look AVAX. Can you please look at AVAX? Okay, let's look at AVAX. Why not? What is this? Others. You should watch this video. It's on Coin Bureau Trading with this theory of what we should be doing with the altcoin season for the next months. It's very important that you are aware of that. Let's find my old chart. Is this? Okay. Let's go to AVAX, USDT. Let's do it on Binance. Let me reconnect with the universe of AVAX. I'm full on the FOMC at the moment. So we have the breakout, the retest. We got to 71. There is little social interaction at the moment on AVAX. People are not talking that much about it on social networks. We haven't put a high relative to March. We put a fake out above this level of resistance at $50. Psychological level came back down, and we have support at 44. that is that high, and this high is around here, 44. I think I'm bullish on AVAX. Okay, so to be short, to give you the short summary, I'm bullish, but it's just that we this is an opportunity, and I'm still holding it because I think that we are gonna take the high of March. It just needs to uh, it needs to happen uh, in the next 2 months uh, or less, and then we can hit the 1272 at $87 or the golden pocket at $106. That is just from this extension. Okay, that's the extension of starting from October 2023, this rally coming back down and then having another go. That is not the full forecast. The full forecast is like $250, 247, based on the full extension of the previous cycle, which is gonna take longer. So maybe somewhere in 2025, late 2025. And it's not financial advice. And I'm gonna be taking profits going up. I'm not gonna wait for this precise number, $250 rounded, because that will be silly. Uh, but I might leave a small amount to ride higher if we are beyond the $200 with a trailing stop loss or something. So is someone watching the event, the actual conference? It should have started. If someone has any news, I will appreciate if you write them down in the comments and we can comment them as well. I think that's more fun than having to listen to that dude. It bores me a little bit to watch it. It's just it's not that it's too complicated. It bores me because I know that they are lying, and it's just kind of a shit show at these days. Just manipulating people. Anyways, let's do TA of other things. And I think someone was asking for ETH. Let's do ETH because it's important. And let's do some liquidation levels on ETH on the swing chart. Let's use the one from Binance. Okay, so ETH is behind Bitcoin, right? It hasn't done as much as Bitcoin. So you need to think, where could we be heading? And on the 4-hour, we have some nice liquidations to take care of. And that is getting to 1400. It's quite substantial. And you can see that we've been running towards that. So why bothering going all the way to 4K and not taking that? That is the larger one. We already took all this crap. Why wouldn't we take that? It's just a low-hanging fruit. Just after we do that, don't think that that is the end of it necessarily, because once we get here, there will be degens that are going to place their shorts somewhere, right? And then we can look at it later on and see if that has become, again, more interesting to take as well. Let's do some TA on Ethereum, proper TA. So I hold the same idea that I've been saying on Ethereum. Just gonna a little bit repeat myself, but I'll do it very quickly. We had this breakout on the weekly time frame from this pattern. We tried 2 times to break above 4K. Now we're back below 4K. Sure, we haven't conquered that 4K properly. Okay, we need to come from above 4K and then retest it, or just carry on going higher and find another area to retest. So if we go very bullish and we go a new all-time high, ideally retesting that previous all-time high, that will be awesome. But at the moment, what we shouldn't be doing, and bear in mind that we might do it, but we shouldn't, is to re-enter below the trend line. If we do, we have to do something very quick in here, take care of business, maybe liquidate some additional longs during a period where all the other coins are also bearish. Maybe there's something affecting all crypto markets, and then we can afford to enter but the top end of the triangle, the symmetrical one, and as quick as possible re-exit that, signaling that, okay, we took care of business, now we're going to move on and continue and carry on with the higher targets. Because Ethereum, when you do TA of Ethereum, you are not just doing Ethereum, you are doing pretty much a forecast for what's to come to the rest of all the ecosystems in altcoins. So I care a lot about what this is going to do in here. And hopefully it holds. That will be awesome and easy, no pain. If it doesn't hold, a little bit of pain. If we start entering in here, hopefully we don't need to go to the final. How come I put in the lines like this? I must be drunk. This is wrong. Okay, now it's a little bit better. So that is the support on the weekly. And I'm hoping that we don't need to go to $2,700. For that, we need big move in the market, a bearish narrative, intense, full on. Why does Ethereum have liquidation pool? Why does Ethereum have liquidation pool below 2K? Do we have below 2K? Oh yeah, it's not below 2K. It's roughly 2.1, 2. And sure, there's at 1.5, 2.7. Let's see 2.7, because I just mentioned that level. There's not much on 2.7. So the incentive at the moment for market maker to bring the price to this support of 2.7 and take out all the longs, you can see it in here. So think about, now you are the market maker and someone calls you to your office and says, dude, as a market maker, what are we going to do next month with Ethereum? Are we going to send it to 27? What do we collect there? And you send it to 27 and you collect this crap there. And then they probably are going to say, okay, let's do something else with our time instead of that. Can we go to 21? Not sure, dude. I also have my longs in here. I don't want to get them liquidated. There you go. They don't go to 21. Maybe something like that it goes. I wish I could spy on them. Take a look at Master. BTC is rallying. Okay. There you go. Now we're talking. Rallying? We are at 104, dude. What is a rally for you? Well, I don't want to I don't want to make anybody feel bad, but sometimes I make jokes and I go too far. I mean, think about this. I grew up in South America. So in South America, we take jokes a lot further beyond than the rest of the world in the North Hemisphere, with some exceptions, of course. Tell me if you are from somewhere in Europe that you make very low level jokes. Tell me in the comment. That will be funny. But we're still holding here, right? So we are holding the support, and it's typical that the market maker takes the price first here to get people to enter in a short, and then they push it back above support. That is the basics of trading, right? You need to wait for confirmation of a candle. So I hope that when the price was below and we were talking about it, you didn't take a short just because I say that, okay? Poland. I thought we were alone with that in Poland. Yeah, I know many people from Poland. They're very funny. And I watch some people on TikTok that make very funny jokes from Poland. What is this swearing word in Poland? Kubra, kabura, kuwara. I don't know. You're from Poland. Remind me. It's very funny. And we still don't take the CME gap. And we still have an ugly candle on the weekly. And what else? We're 5 minutes away. Did the event already finish? Hold on. So I'm just gonna do one more TA, okay? So write down right now which coin you want me to review, okay? And I'm gonna close my eyes and I'm gonna put my finger like this. And if you're the winner, I reviewed that coin, and that's the last coin. So I'm gonna count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And it's gonna be near. Near. All right. Let's go with near. Near USDT. I haven't done this in a while. We still have 800 people. I cannot believe that 800 people are watching this. Really appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much for joining the stream. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. This is just crazy. All right. So near is a little bit closer to breaking the March highs. Uh, it just hit this resistance. I don't know why I place it like that. Yeah, because we have resistance in March 2021. So I have to find a compromise between all of this, that support here, and all the craziness that occurs in March. And, if I move it slightly higher, like to $7.8, then it doesn't match that. So I'm going to pull it back down to $7.6. And you can see that there is a breakdown on the weekly. I guess that's why there is some concern in there. But we are right there at support at $6.2. That is the support coming from all these weeks there, and that resistance in July. And hopefully it's going to hold, because otherwise we are going to make a trip to $5.1. Let's look at the daily and see if there's any opportunity incoming. And I think there is. On the daily, it's a little bit difficult to see, just because we were at resistance at 52 RSI, and then we carry on below it, which is great. That is giving us another opportunity for this to dump as much as it wants, and then eventually break out somewhere. It could do it here, it could do it tonight, it could do it next week. Impossible to tell, but you need to look at the daily RSI, and you need to look at the 4 hour as well if you want to sneak peek into the future. So that one, let's put it like that. You can see that on the 4 hour, it's been since 12th of November on a channel down. If you watch my Altcoin video from yesterday, this is the same theory. It applies to everything. You see a channel down that starts going down from the beginning of the pump, from the first uh, im- impulsive move. Yeah, sure. People mock me because I say impulsive, but it's impulsive. Funny. Anyways, the first impulsive move goes to $5.6, and then it carries on to 7.9, but the channel down immediately starts, right? So it starts from here, from 55, you get the breakdown and you start coming down, 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 down. And you can see that the old coin doesn't care, but it does. Every pump is less than the previous one until eventually one breaks below. Okay. And then you start having the price coming down below and not necessarily holding the 6.1. That's because on the daily we need to move all the resistance and support levels because it won't match. We're doing this on the weekly, so I'm gonna keep them like that, even if they don't match perfectly on every single time frame. On the daily here, we can see that we are below support at the moment. So monitor near, it could carry on. This is a bearish pattern on the daily as well. It's like an inverse um, cup and handle, and the target, which I'm going to show it to you, but I'm not necessarily believing we can go that low to go to $4.2. I feel like if we carry on with this bullishness in the market and Bitcoin continues to put new highs and there's no disaster, right? There should be maybe a fake out in here in continuation to the upside rather than going all the way back to $4.2 because that's the range we were goofing around in August, in the summer. So I don't think so. I mean, unless you're paying attention to fundamentals and there's something wrong, but I don't think there is. Let's look at AVAX. Probably is doing the same. On AVAX is a little bit less bearish because if AVAX was doing the same, that will look like being here, right? Below $44. So at the moment, near is slightly more bearish than AVAX in the price action of today. That doesn't say necessarily everything, but it's having a rough time. Maybe it's because the pump was too much. Let's see. So AVAX this did 137%, and near did 117. Okay, so it did less pump, and now is a bit more bearish than AVAX. All right, that is what I have for you guys today, and I hope you appreciate it. It was after FOMC. Let the live begins. It started. Okay, did it really start now? Are you sure? Oh, okay. Let the lights begin. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stay a little bit longer for the meeting. I wanna see if the market reverse, just because I don't wanna miss the opportunity. Something happened with the microphone. Mic is as usual. The mic isn't working well, Mariano. Can you guys hear me at the moment? You should be able to hear me. 25 rate cut, start. Yep, no one is replying. We can hear you. Okay, good. And let's see what this guy is saying. I'm gonna just read it. Conditions have supported the strong economy. Yeah, you keep talking, man. Projection, change in real GDP. I don't buy anything. This is just to keep people, focus on everything is going well, and then you have this meme coin, this meme that shows everything burning. Already announced. Yeah, of course, 25 basis points. Let's go back to the chart on the 15-minute. It's just there hanging. It hasn't broken support yet. 104 just pinching below. And we got a big spike here. Okay, this is cool. You're seeing it live, guys. Okay, and usually I see this on my own in my office. Uh, you see this? That is 10th of December. That was bottom information. This one there as well. All these spikes in green is loads of bidding. Okay, and somehow in this candle, let's go lower time frame. Let's see at what time it happened. What caused it? But 7:15. So 15 minutes ago, the bidding party started. And again, bidding is not enough to go up, but it's good to see it. Okay. On the 15-minute there was another micro spike, then those two, and those tend to push the price up with a decent, you know, percentages of the time. What are the odds for BTC to get back to 96 or even 93? Um, I think at the moment it's low likely based on the timing we are in the season, in the cycle, and I know that there's not a lot of liquidity that goes through the pockets of retail um, to fuel this, but institutions have been here in the cycle, saving the day, saving the cycle, we could say. Retail hasn't saved the cycle. Retail is just there sitting back, paying the bills and struggling. And that's why we don't see much altcoin season, or it lasts so short and it's so dry in liquidity, because the institutions are not, as far as I know, there are not many, invested in speculating on altcoins. Um, but So far, we still have the ETFs and it's strong demand at the moment. So as long as we don't get black swan event, the start of a big war or whatever, Bitcoin should continue due diligence, and that means that on the monthly, somewhere here in in January, I'm gonna start getting worried if we get to these levels, and after February, I'm gonna get also nervous with the timing because every cycle we spend less time above 70 on the monthly. This cycle we're expected to do that just 90 days, according to the linear regression, which is not the final word, right? But is enough to let's keep an eye there. What happens at that point? 93 uh, is kind of doable, but we need a little bit more than just hitting the expectations in the meeting. Something bad needs to happen from the general markets. I don't think there is enough incentive just to liquidate 93 at the moment. Not in Santa Rally. We need money. It's funny that then site says bye to your channel. I get even people to join the stream to say hello and to say goodbye as well. It's so romantic. Anyways, thanks guys. I'm done with this dude. I'm not gonna stay here until he finishes talking. I don't think it's just necessary, and Bitcoin is not going anywhere. And I might as well go and spend some time with my daughter before she goes to sleep. And I really appreciate you guys joining, including the people that joined to say goodbye. It's very appreciated. I also say goodbye, have a good evening, and sleep well. Take care, guys.